Hi guys, welcome back on SportsKhabri, Curious Harry and Aaron Foot. A very disappointing loss against Uzbekistan, second match of the AFC Asian Cup. We are going to quickly take the post-match reactions of all the three panelists here. So I'll start first with Hiren. Hiren, disappointing day. Aapka first
Uh,
thought.
Definitely, as the Indian football fan, it's a disappointing thing to lose a 3-0 because there was a expectation that we might do good. And I think we have created a couple of chances. To be honest, we were a little bit unlucky, but I think Uzbek were better side. That's clearly visible by the way they have playing. And second half, I think it's a good thing they unable to, you can say, finish those chances. Otherwise, scoreline would have been a 4-0, 5-0. But I think one thing I you can say I like from the Australian game is to India go for the goals, and I think they have created a couple of really good chances. But there is a clear quality difference, so I think that's the, you can say, given result.
Rahul?
Yeah, I mean, disappointing. Of course, we just watched the game and we're talking right after, so it hasn't quite sunk in. Um, yeah, like Hiren said, big quality difference. We could see that they're technically really good. They were comfortable playing those short passes in midfield. They sprayed the ball around quite nicely, and they were a stronger side actually. To be fair to them, it I don't think we got to see much of that, but they were a strong side. There was a point I think when Kusanov sort of shoved. I don't remember. It was Mahesh, I think, on the line, and we saw how strong they were. And yeah, really, you have to give the Uzbek side credit, I think. But I think from an Indian perspective, this was a better performance than the Australia one. The Australia game, we were nowhere in it. We didn't play at all, but at least we tried playing and we created a couple of chances, like Hiren mentioned again. Unfortunately, we couldn't take them. But yeah, you when you go into these games, you just can't concede early, and we did that, and yeah, we paid the price. Just don't concede early. I know we all know the sort of difference in quality, but every time you go into a game, be it like even me with my apartment friends, if I go into a game with where we know we're playing a better opposition, we're always trying to sort of find ways to get through the game, and that's what India needs to do. We know we're probably not of that quality, but we need to find ways to grind results to sort of stay in games for longer periods. Otherwise, yeah, can't really do much.
Arnua, you often warn us and you often give us reality checks. Did you see this coming?
Uh, don't want to say I said so. I mean, I said yesterday that 3-0 would be a good result. On the other side, there is hope. Maybe we can, maybe draw, maybe cause an upset. But the difference of standard was just too evident today. I mean, that was something, I wouldn't call it a masterclass.
I know I lost your voice in between.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It was a great game by the Uzbeks, but it wasn't a master class. If that master class, then the result would have been even worse. I think that's the saving grace for us. As Rahul and Hiren have said, we had a few opportunities. I think Uzbekistan allowed us that space. That was good to see, but it's so shocking to see the difference in the first two games. The level of football that is played, and these are not even the best of the best in Asia. These are sort of like the second rung team on the level in Asia. We're not playing a Japan, we're not playing a Korea, we're not playing Iran, we're not playing the Saudis, and yeah, that's, I think, the most demoralizing part in all of this, and that you have to realize is that we're still quite a bit off from the top of Asian football.
Yeah. A lot of anger amongst the fans. We can already see it on X that people are posting about their disappointment. There are also some talks against the coach, some anger against specific team players. Hiren, what do you think you would have done different in this match? And do you, of course, it's too soon for us to, pinpoint a lot of things because we'll have to go back and look at the highlights or maybe watch the match again. But what are the things that you think we will have to do differently against Syria?
To be honest, not anything much I would do different. इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेक्टिक्स आप बोल सकते हो कि कोच ये कर सकते थे, वो कर सकते थे, बट आई थिंक जिस तरह के आपके प्लेयरों की क्वालिटी है, आई थिंक उससे आप इतना ही एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो. देयर इज इट्स अ कलेक्टिव फेलियर. आई वुड नॉट all blame on the coach, to be honest. I think it's a players failure, coaches, AFF, your league. I think everyone is in question ki you are improve in a physicality, but your technical ability, your positional sense and everything, your intensity, I think everything is far behind in the level of, you can say, कि Asia. So वो कहीं ना कहीं हमें विजिबल हो रही थी. एंड आपके प्लेयरों का आई थिंक जितना उनसे एफर्ट हो रहा था उसमें भी अब देखिए दे आर उसका जो पोटेंशियल है, द बिगेस्ट आई वुड से कि प्लेयरों को मैं ब्लेम करूंगा इन अ वे कि जो उनका पोटेंशियल है उसके हिसाब से भी वो यहाँ पे कुछ कुछ प्लेयर है उन्होंने गलतियां की, वो परफॉर्मेंस नहीं दे पाए. अंडर प्रेशर काफी ज्यादा हमारे प्लेयर आ जाते हैं, पर्टिकुलरली जब हम अर्ली कंसीड करते हैं. और ये हमने काफी बार देखा है कि वहां से फिर रिकवर करने का रास्ता उनको नहीं दिखता. और जो सिंपल पासिस भी है, जैसे मनवीर हो गया, आई थिंक जिस तरह से राहुल बेके ने वो सेकंड गोल में मिस्टेक की, तो उस तरह के जो सिचुएशन है वहां पे भी वो अपने आप को बेटर तरीके से रिकवर नहीं कर पाते. और ये आई थिंक मनोलो मार्केस ने लास्ट सीजन भी बोला था कि द प्रॉब्लम विद द इंडियन प्लेयर्स इसकी जब भी वो एक बार मैच में ऐसा कोई गलती करते हैं तो फिर वहां से रिकवर करने में उनको काफी ज्यादा टाइम लग जाता है. एंड अगेन दोस मिस्टेक्स हैज बीन रिपीटेड. सो आई थिंक वो एक मेरे को लगता है कि मेंटालिटी वाइज भी वो एक ब्लॉक है. एंड फिजिकलिटी वाइज आई थिंक हमने इंप्रूव जरूर किया है. बाकी जो एस्पेक्ट है गेम के वो आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं अभी भी हम लैक कर रहे हैं. सो इट्स अ कलेक्टिव फेलियर ऑफ द प्लेयर्स, कोच, एएफएफ एंड लीग.
Rahul, same question.
It's hard again to pinpoint what exactly. I wouldn't change much, honestly. I think the approach was fine. The first goal was again like I think it was a little unlucky that we conceded, but yeah, approach was fine. I think we have to go in with the mindset to win. I mean, there's no other option against Syria, right? Like if we have any chance of qualifying, play the attacking brand of football that you know you can play, and hopefully we can convert our chances. That's it.
I don't know. And I'll add another question for you. What if we lose against Syria? What next for Indian football then?
See, I'll be very, very honest. I would have thought that we would lose these three matches. I think these three teams are all better than us, and I think there is, Australia is a team which played the World Cup. Uzbekistan is I always say the best Asian team which doesn't qualify for a World Cup, and Syria has smartly integrated players of origin from Central and South America. And Hector Cooper has they have a very, very experienced, a very, very passionate coach. And I wouldn't be surprised if we also lose against Syria. But the thing is, we need to learn our lessons. The stakeholders of Indian football need to understand why we are where we are and then rectify things. It makes no sense of sugarcoating or saying, sab changasi, everything is fine, no problem. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of issues. And they need to be addressed ASAP. Because even if you address some of these issues today, tonight, the results will take you 5, 10, 15 years. And that, I think, is that realization needs to be there, that we need to work on a lot of things to develop and evolve Indian football. The ISL is 10 years old. Reliance, FSDL need to, take their share of the blame of what is the standard of Indian football. AFF, of course, as the parent body. Igor Stimac as the head coach. You see, Igor Stimac was there. No one would like to be in his shoes, because you realize this is a guy who's played World Cups himself. Who's played at the top level. And you realize that your players are struggling sometimes with the basics. Whatever he says or doesn't say, and whatever I've criticized him, but in this moment, nothing much to say. And this is the end result, because we need to do a lot. We need to do a lot more. Again, I know certain people will raise the PIO, OCI issue. As long as the government doesn't move, let's leave that topic aside. Nothing is going to happen. I've been fighting for this matter for now 23 years. Nothing has happened with different governments, with different prime minister, foreign ministers, and with different AFF presidents. But there are other things which can be rectified, which need to be rectified, because there are a lot of people who are playing football. Our coaching needs to be better, especially at grassroots, at youth level. Only then will Indian football grow, and only then will we hopefully in the future be able to compete at an Asian or maybe then at an international level.
Yeah, true. And also, guys, if please be open to understanding new perspectives. Don't blindly just follow some people and just think that only they understand Indian football. Be open to other people's suggestions. Be like, just make your own choices, make your own.
Be inclusive.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be that rigid and don't think that we are. If we are telling you something, or other platforms are also telling you something, just go back and see how valid the facts that they are stating are, or we are also for that matter. I will not say that don't, like, we are only doing the best thing, but just that's one thing that we can do as fans. um a lot of gloominess, of course, a lot of disappointment, so we will just end the conversation here, and of course we'll discuss the match and the Syria match again in the upcoming podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.